Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are looking at a terrifying reality that honestly could affect any one of us, you know,
Yeah.
like on your commute or on a sidewalk or even at your job.
Yeah, it really is universal. Nobody's immune to it.
Right. And, usually when we think about a physical injury, there's this expectation of an objective reality. It's almost like engineering.
Huh.
Like you break your arm, the x-ray shows that jagged white line, and the doctor just points to the film and says, there it is.
Yeah, it's totally binary. I mean, the physical damage is undeniably there, which
Mhm.
kind of gives us a sense of fairness.
Exactly.
If you are hurt, well, the proof is right there in black and white. You're injured, therefore, you will be compensated.
Right. But then you step into the world of personal injury claims, and suddenly that x-ray machine feels like it's completely broken.
Oh, yeah, it really does.
The undeniable reality of your pain just doesn't automatically translate to a fair outcome anymore. And to protect you from this incredibly murky landscape, we're diving into a fascinating and honestly eye-opening guide titled 7 Errors That Destroy Your Personal Injury Claim.
It is a phenomenal text, very revealing.
It really is.
Yeah.
So, our mission today is simple. We want to equip you with the exact playbook that massive insurance companies secretly hope you never, ever read.
Yeah, they definitely do not want you reading this.
Because if the unthinkable happens, you absolutely do not want to be victimized a second time by the bureaucracy.
It's a sobering text, really, because it completely dismantles the assumption that simply being the victim of an accident is enough to guarantee the system will take care of you.
Yeah, I mean, we all want to believe it will.
Right, but the entire premise of this guide revolves around this shocking truth. Most personal injury victims do not lose their cases because they weren't actually hurt.
Wait.
Yeah, they lose because of what happens after the injury. I mean, they make critical, unforced errors in the hours, the days, and, the weeks following the event.
Wow. And right out of the gate, the source material establishes a baseline context that we all just need to internalize.
Yeah.
Insurance companies are not in the business of paying generously.
No, not at all.
They are in the business of finding reasons to pay less. Every single step you take post-accident is essentially being monitored to find a reason to devalue your claim.
Exactly. And to understand why this happens, we really have to look at the immediate aftermath of an accident. So imagine you were driving, right?
Okay, Andrea.
Someone runs a red light, and they just slam into your passenger side. In those first 10 minutes, your biology and your sociology are actively working against your legal interests.
That is so true. I mean, your adrenaline is absolutely spiking. Your heart is just pounding.
Yeah, and your social instincts to de-escalate the conflict immediately kick in.
Which leads to that deeply ingrained human reaction, right?
Yeah.
Politeness. Okay, let's unpack this. You get out of the car, you see the other driver looks a little shaken up, and you immediately say something like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Or, I didn't even see you coming?
Right, or maybe I should have braked sooner. It's basically the equivalent of apologizing when someone steps on your foot on the subway.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
You're just acting like a decent human being. You're not, like, making a sworn legal confession.
But here's the thing. The insurance company treats it exactly like a sworn legal confession.
Oh, man.
The legal system interprets that conversational politeness as a formal admission of negligence. And the reason this is so catastrophic for your claim comes down to the mathematical mechanics of something called comparative negligence.
Okay, let's break that math down because I think most people assume, well, if the other guy ran a red light, the other guy pays for everything.
Right. I mean, in a perfect world, yes. But comparative negligence basically acts like a pie chart of blame.
A pie chart of blame. I like that.
Yeah, so if your case is worth $100,000 in medical bills and lost wages, but the insurance company can convince a jury that your polite little apology meant you were even 10% at fault for the crash.
Wait, just from saying sorry?
Just from saying sorry, like maybe because you admitted you didn't see them, your payout is instantly reduced by 10%. That one reflex of human decency literally just cost you $10,000 out of pocket.
That is wild. And the guide points out something brilliant to counter this instinct. It says, you are not an accident reconstruction expert.
Right. You have no idea what actually happened.
Exactly. You might think you share the blame because maybe you were changing the radio station, but your perspective in that terrifying moment is entirely flawed.
Precisely. You are evaluating a chaotic split-second event through a highly stressed, incredibly narrow lens. You don't know what the intersection traffic cameras captured.
Good point.
You don't know what the other vehicles black box computer data shows about their speed or, their braking. You have absolutely no idea if the other driver was texting, intoxicated, or driving on bald tire.
Wow, yeah. I wouldn't know any of that.
But if you offer an emotional apology, the insurance adjuster will just document your words as claimant admitted partial responsibility before any of the facts are even gathered.
So the smart move here is to just stay strictly factual.
Mm.
You provide your name, your insurance, your vehicle details, and, you cooperate with the police.
That's it. Nothing else.
No opinions, no blame, and absolutely no apologies.
Exactly.
But what about the physical side of those first few minutes? Let's say I get out of the car, I'm shaky, but I don't really think my arm is broken.
Sure.
The ambulance arrives, and I say, I think I'm okay, or I'm just a little sore, I'll just drive myself home and wait a few days.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I am terrified of an unexpected $5,000 ER bill if it turns out to just be a bruised shoulder.
Right. And what's fascinating here is that thought process is completely rational for someone trying to avoid medical debt in our current healthcare system.
I mean, yeah, nobody wants a random medical bill.
But in the context of personal injury law, the source identifies this as literally the #1 killer of injury claims. There is a brutal foundational equation in this field.
Which is?
No medical record equals weak injury proof.
It's the instinct to tough it out. You're just trying to be resilient and hope the pain goes away.
Yeah, but the insurer leverages your resilience against you. They exploit this concept of causation. If you delay going to the doctor for, say, 4 days, the insurance adjuster will look at that treatment gap and use it to invent an alternate narrative.
Like what? What would they say?
They will argue, well, if you were seriously injured in the crash on Tuesday, why didn't you see a doctor until Saturday? You must have hurt your back at the gym on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they use the delay to sever the legal link between their driver's mistake and your bodily pain.
So they aren't necessarily saying you aren't hurt. They are saying, we can't be sure we hurt you.
Exactly.
Because they need a continuous, unbroken paper trail from the moment of impact directly to the diagnosis.
You're right. And biologically, waiting is dangerous anyway. I mean, the text cites multiple medical and legal experts who warn that adrenaline acts as a massive pain masker.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You don't feel anything right away.
Yeah, soft tissue injuries, whiplash, internal bleeding, or even microscopic spinal trauma, they often do not fully manifest until the adrenaline wears off.
Which could be, what, days later?
Sometimes 24 to 48 hours later, yeah. And if you decline immediate evaluation, you lose the opportunity for an early diagnosis to be placed officially on the record. Your case basically starts bleeding financial value instantly.
So the takeaway is incredibly clear here. Let a medical professional say you're fine, rather than trying to diagnose yourself on the shoulder of the highway to save a buck.
Absolutely.
Because saving a buck today could literally cost you your entire settlement tomorrow.
That's the reality. So, assuming you survive the immediate shock, you get checked out and you keep your apologies to yourself. You might think, okay, I'm safe.
Right. I did everything right.
But as the hours tick by, you actually enter a race against time because the physical evidence of the accident is literally vanishing into thin air.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The text draws this profound distinction. It says, personal injury claims are not emotional stories. They are evidence battles.
Yes. That is such a key point.
I think we all want to believe that if we just sit down and honestly tell our truth, the system will believe us and make us whole.
But that is a fundamental misunderstanding of how adversarial these claims truly are. The burden of proof is entirely on you.
Right. It's not on them to prove you weren't hurt.
Exactly. The weaker your evidence file, the easier it is for the defense to simply shrug and say, well, we cannot verify your version of events. Claim denied.
Right.
Think about how fast an accident scene degrades. Within hours, skid marks on the pavement fade.
Yeah. Or witnesses leave.
Right. The people who saw the whole thing have to go pick up their kids or go to work. It starts raining and washes away the shattered glass and debris.
Oh, and camera footage.
Exactly. The nearby storefront camera that caught the impact, it might operate on a 24-hour loop. So by tomorrow, the footage is overwritten forever.
The physical reality of what happened is completely erased, which is exactly why the guide urges victims to turn their smartphones into a legal weapon.
It's your best tool.
You have to become your own private investigator in those first few hours. You need time-stamped photos of the vehicular damage, wide shots of the road conditions, pictures of any obscured traffic signs.
Yep.
You need the responding police officer's badge number, and you absolutely must get contact info from anyone standing around.
Because nobody else is going to meticulously build that file for you. I mean, the police are there to clear the intersection and write a basic report. They are not there to secure $1 million financial settlement on your behalf.
Right. Now, let's say you do all that. You're home, you're injured, your car is totaled, and you are incredibly stressed.
A nightmare scenario.
And right when you're feeling most vulnerable, your phone rings. It's a friendly voice offering what feels like a lifeline. The insurance adjuster.
Oh, man. If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is actually one of the most psychologically manipulative moments in the entire process.
It really seems so sneaky when you read the breakdown. The adjuster sounds super kind, incredibly professional, maybe even sympathetic.
Right. They act like your friend.
They tell you, we just need to get your recorded statement to process the claim and get your check moving. It sounds totally like standard corporate protocol. I mean, I want my claim processed, so I'd probably just say, sure, ask away.
And that's the trap. You have to remember that when you take that call, you are not speaking to customer service.
Who am I speaking to then?
You are speaking to a highly trained representative of a financial defense system, and their sole metric for success is claim reduction. They use algorithmic scripts designed to box you into a corner.
The text gives examples of this that genuinely gave me chills. It's basically a covert interrogation.
It really is.
They'll ask a casual throwaway question like, so how are you feeling today? And if you say, I'm doing okay, thanks for asking, just to be polite to the person on the phone boom.
Yep. In their file, they immediately note, claimant reports pain is resolving.
Just because I said I'm doing okay out of habit.
Exactly. Or they will ask leading questions about the mechanics of the crash. Like, would you say the pain is mild right now? Or you didn't feel the need to go by ambulance, correct?
Wow, putting words in your mouth.
Or were you looking left before the impact? They are literally listening for hesitations. They are recording every verbal stumble or moment of uncertainty.
And then they use that against you later.
Oh, absolutely. Their legal team will later transcribe those stumbles as proof that your memory is unreliable. They are trying to lock you into a definitive version of events before you even know the full medical extent of your injuries.
It's like walking into a deposition without a lawyer and without realizing the jury is already in the room.
That is the perfect way to describe it. The rule the guide lays down here is just non-negotiable.
What's the smart move?
Never give a recorded statement to the other party's insurance company without legal representation present. Period. You just politely decline, tell them your attorney will be in touch, and hang up.
Okay, so you've navigated the scene, the hospital, and the aggressive phone calls. You survived the first week. But as the weeks turn into months, we enter the long game.
This is where it gets really grueling.
And this phase preys heavily on your exhaustion and your desperate desire to get your life back to normal. Let's look at the digital footprint. This one actually blew my mind. The social media trap.
Yeah, this is where patience and discipline become incredibly difficult to maintain.
The text lists completely mundane actions as massive errors.
Right.
Like posting a mirror selfie at the gym, putting up a photo from a family dinner, or even just updating your status to say you are feeling blessed after a close call.
Harmless stuff, right?
Right. I read that and thought, come on, how is a picture of me eating pasta related to my car crash?
It seems totally unrelated to you, but to a defense lawyer aggressively investigating your life, your social media feed is an absolute goldmine.
Really? Just a picture of pasta?
Insurers have vast resources, and they use specialized software to scrub your digital footprint. They aren't just looking at the photo, they are pulling the metadata to prove exactly what day and time you were out of the house.
Wow.
They are looking for literally any indicator of fraud or exaggeration that can damage your credibility.
So they are essentially using your social media highlight reel as an alternative medical chart, which just feels incredibly invasive and entirely unfair.
It is invasive.
Like, just because I managed to smile in a photo at my cousin's wedding doesn't mean I'm not dealing with excruciating nerve pain the other 23 hours of the day. I'm just trying to have one normal night out.
I know. It is deeply unfair, but it is a highly effective tactic. You have to remember that if your case goes to trial, juries are just human beings, and human beings are highly visual creatures.
Okay, that makes sense.
The defense is actively trying to avoid paying you for something called loss of enjoyment of life.
Ah. Okay.
So if you claim the accident ruined your quality of life, the defense attorney will take that one smiling photo, blow it up on a massive screen in the courtroom, and they will twist it into a narrative of physical mobility and emotional stability.
They'll say, look how happy they are.
Exactly. They will literally ask the jury, look at this person holding a cocktail and laughing. Do they look like they're suffering?
And as the guide points out so powerfully, a digital photo does not capture a panic attack every time you try to merge onto the highway.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't show the sleepless nights because you can't find a position that doesn't hurt your spine. But the defense knows the visual impression of a smile overrides the invisible reality of your trauma.
That is precisely why the advice here is absolute. The smart move. You must disappear entirely from social media until your claim is officially resolved.
Just completely go dark.
Go dark. Set everything to private, accept no new friends, and post absolutely nothing. The risk of your own life being weaponized against you is simply too high.
Which brings us to the ultimate temptation. You're isolated, you're off social media, the medical bills are stacking up on your kitchen table, you're burning through your sick days at work, and your car is still sitting wrecked in a tow yard.
It's a breaking point.
You are financially bleeding out, and suddenly the insurer reaches out and offers a quick settlement check. It feels like someone just threw you a life preserver.
And that feeling of desperate relief is exactly what the insurance company is banking on.
Really? They time it like that?
Absolutely. They know the financial pressure you are under. Fast money buys silence.
It's basically psychological warfare. They wait until you are at your absolute lowest point to offer you a fraction of what you actually deserve.
It really is warfare. The reality is that quick settlements are almost universally cheap settlements.
Yeah.
If you agree to a payout in the first few weeks or even months, you are basically operating blind.
Because you don't know the full extent yet.
Exactly. You do not actually know what your injury is going to cost you over the course of your life.
Because, the human body doesn't heal on a corporate schedule. You might think it's just physical therapy, but what if the MRI next month shows you actually need spinal fusion surgery?
Right. Or what if you require long-term pain medication?
Or you suffer permanent nerve damage that limits your earning capacity for the next 20 years.
And if you take that early check, you are gambling with your future. And the most terrifying part of this trap is the legal finality of it.
Meaning you can't go back for more.
Exactly. To get that check, you have to sign a release of liability form. Once you sign those papers and deposit that money, your case is permanently closed forever. There is no second chance.
Wow.
There is no going back to the insurer a year later saying, hey, I actually need another surgery. The money ran out. The defense has successfully bought their way out of all future liability for pennies on the dollar.
So the rule to live by here is never settle before reaching what doctors call maximum medical improvement. You have to know the final price tag before you close the register.
Precisely.
Okay, so we've run this entire gauntlet. We've seen how human politeness, biological adrenaline, fading rainstorms, friendly adjusters, social media habits, and financial desperation are all algorithmically weaponized against the victim.
It's a lot to process.
It is, which leads us to the final fatal error. The biggest trap of all is thinking you can navigate this highly adversarial, complex maze all by yourself.
Yeah, the DIY trap. It's a remarkably common mindset, and it's usually driven by fear or pride.
Like, I'll handle this myself to save money.
Exactly. People think lawyers take a percentage, they're too expensive, or let me just see what the insurance company offers me first, and if it's low, then I'll escalate things and hire an attorney.
But when you look at the landscape we just described, why on earth would you sit back and wait for a massive corporation to build a comprehensive defense against you while you have absolutely no offensive strategy of your own?
It makes no sense.
It's like a novice sitting down to play a high-stakes game of chess against a grandmaster, but you don't even know how the pieces move.
This raises an important question, right? Why wait? Delaying legal representation is incredibly costly. While you wait to see what the insurer does, you are rapidly losing ground.
Because the evidence is disappearing.
Exactly. The evidence at the scene is gone. Witnesses are forgetting details or changing their phone numbers. Strict legal filing deadlines, known as statutes of limitations, are just quietly ticking away.
And meanwhile, the insurer is just building their case.
Right. Most importantly, the insurance company is controlling the entire narrative of your claim unchallenged. Legal professionals constantly see claimants who tried self-handling negotiations, and it almost always results in lowball offers and getting caught in those documentation traps.
The text highlights what a good injury lawyer actually does for you immediately, and it's entirely about shifting from defense to offense.
Yes, going on the offensive is key.
They dispatch investigators to protect and preserve the scene evidence. They issue preservation letters to stop companies from deleting surveillance footage.
They handle the adjuster calls, too.
Right. They immediately take over all communication with the insurer, so you literally cannot be tricked into a recorded statement. They organize the medical records, calculate the real long-term damages, and essentially insulate you from the stress.
And the earlier that legal strategy begins, the harder it is for the insurer to manipulate your case. You are leveling the playing field by bringing your own expert to counter their experts.
So, synthesizing everything we've talked about today from the source material,
Hmm.
it all boils down to a brilliant summary.
The Golden Rule Playbook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
5 critical things you must do immediately after any accident to protect yourself. Let's run through them. Number 1, get medical treatment immediately. Protect your health, defeat the adrenaline, and build an unbroken paper trail of causation.
Right. Number 2, document everything. Turn your phone into an evidence-gathering tool before the physical reality of the scenes simply vanishes.
Number 3, say nothing about fault. Keep your interactions strictly factual and suppress the urge to offer polite apologies.
Number 4, avoid insurer-recorded statements. Do not give their algorithms the ammunition they need to reduce your payout leverage.
And finally, number 5, contact a personal injury attorney fast. Bring someone into your corner who actually knows the rules of the game and can fight the financial defense system on your behalf.
It's a solid playbook.
It really is. The source text drives home an ultimate reality check that I know is going to stick with me. Personal injury claims are not won simply by being genuinely injured.
No, they are not.
You can have genuine agonizing pain, you can have real crushing medical bills, you can have lost wages and profound emotional trauma. But if you do not document it, protect it, and strategically handle it, the insurance company will look at all that suffering and say, we don't owe you anything.
It's heartbreaking but true.
You can lose tens of thousands of dollars, not because you lied, but simply because you didn't know the rules of the system.
It's a stark reminder that the truth alone is not a sufficient legal strategy. The truth actually has to be actively and aggressively defended.
Whether you are driving to work right now or sitting at your desk or walking down the street, you are now armed with the knowledge to protect yourself against a massive bureaucracy that is fundamentally designed to wear you down. You know where the traps are hidden.
You do. But, it does leave us with a rather profound philosophical question to mull over.
What's that?
When we step back and look at the specific tactics we've discussed today, the insurance industry relies heavily on exploiting our best human instincts.
Oh, well, yeah, they do.
They use our empathy against us when we apologize out of basic human decency. They use our trust against us when a friendly voice calls asking for a routine statement.
And our desire for connection, too.
Exactly. They use that against us when we try to put on a brave, smiling face for our friends on social media. If all of those positive human traits are systematically used to devalue claims, we really have to ask ourselves something.
Was that?
Has the personal injury compensation system inherently evolved to punish human decency in favor of cold, calculated paranoia?
Man.
It is certainly something to ponder the next time you interact with any massive corporate bureaucracy.
Punishing human decency in favor of paranoia. That is a heavy, but honestly incredibly necessary thought to carry with us.
It really is.
Because when that x-ray is murky and the system is actively looking for a reason to deny you, calculated paranoia might just be the only thing that actually protects you.
Absolutely.
Keep your eyes open out there, stay curious, and more importantly, stay protected. We'll catch you on the next Deep Dive.